Hey everyone! In today's videos I will compare features from Miro, mostly around the interface, the user experience and the navigation. I'm Andre, product designer and co-founder of DeepWorks Studio, which is a fully distributed and remote product design and innovation studio. A couple of years ago I used to work at AJ and Smart, where I was designing a lot of really cool products like the Share products, Oak Meditation, some VR stuff, and now I work on blockchain products, but actually everything from every industry. I work completely remotely and also help leaders and teams innovate faster. I incorporate my work with clients with the newest scientific discoveries to improve their physical and mental performance, so to create an optimal work-life balance. Because basically that's the future, and the future is pretty close. So if you want to live in the future, send me a message on LinkedIn. Let's have a look. As always, I'm going to show you Miro and how it works. So this is a board that I've created for the meeting Legos, which is a webinar that I run every now and then. Look me up on LinkedIn, you can sign up and I'll tell you exactly how to use it. It's basically for creating a structure for your own meeting and make it super simple to have a solid and tangible outcome every time you run a meeting or workshop. But let me just go through the actual Miro interface. So the first thing that you'll notice about the interface is that you have almost an infinite amount of space. And you can zoom in really far. It's almost indefinitely. And that's kind of nice. It allows you for a little bit of freedom. The other thing that I really like is that there's a very specific tool set on the left hand side. If you're familiar with Figma or Sketch, the whole navigation might be actually quite natural to you. The tool set on the left hand side is almost resembling something from Paint or a different painting tool. So you know exactly what these tools are. It's something like selecting, this is a template library, but you have also text and post-its, then you have different types of shapes, arrows, free pen, and so on. So all these tools are actually quite self-explanatory, and the information architecture about this is also pretty nice. So whenever you click on something, it hides very contextually relevant things inside. If you click on the post-its, you can select different colors. If you select text, you just basically draw text. If you select shapes, you can choose from different popular shapes. On the bottom, you'll have different plugins. So basically tools that you will use during a workshop. There's a timer, there's voting, there's the activity log, and there's much more. Everything that's kind of more complex is here. Also things like screen sharing or video chat and actual typed in chat. So long story short, everything is pretty well hidden and the information architecture is relatively clear. So you don't have a lot of time that you need to actually onboard and understand what you need. All the elements resemble actually physical elements that you would know from the office. This is what I like about it, because you basically, if you have someone who has been working in an office, you only need to tell them, here's the post-it, and you just click on it. You can either drag or just click and then double click. And once you double click, you can start typing something in. So now let's look into how to arrange some stickies. There's a couple of interesting things. If you take a sticky from here, you can drag it over, and if you double click, you can write something in, just the way I did it just now. What you can also do is you can expand it a little bit into a double-sized sticky. Another thing that I really like is the grid, the automatic grid that lines up once you actually want to arrange these things. So you can Command or Control and C and Command and Control V to copy paste a post-it to a specific place. And when you move it, you'll already see an automatic line that helps you align it on a horizontal level. You can also do the same thing vertically, or if you want to go really close, it will snap right next to it. And you can do the same thing as many times as you like, and so whichever amount of post-its you have, it'll always be pretty easy to make it look neat. Now, if you have a chaotic place, let's say we didn't arrange them really nicely, we can just highlight them all, and there's two little settings here. One of them will align them, so let's say we want to align them all to the top, and you can also distribute them evenly so they're all arranged really nicely. And if you want to move them around in an easier way, you can also group them together, so this way whichever one you click on, it's always along with the other ones. Another thing that I want to mention about arranging stickies is that you can actually bring them to front or to the back. So you have a yellow one and a blue one, and let's say I want the yellow one to actually overlap the blue one, so you can actually just go here and then bring to front. That arranges them properly on the three-dimensional levels. If you don't want something to move around, you just click on it, and then you have here the lock icon. And when you press this, nobody else can move things around. This is how I designed these workspaces, so if you click on the white space, you can't move it around because it's actually locked. But if you want to move the whole thing, you just use this frame and then you can drag the entire thing, because that's unlocked, but this content here is locked. Obviously, you can also choose different font sizes, different fonts. How do you arrange the text on the post-it and create a link inside the post-it. On the same note, let's look at how we can create hyperlinks and link to external pages on these things. So let's go to YouTube. And actually, when we just copy paste YouTube and the link and then paste it in here, then what it'll paste, and what I mean is Control or Command C and Control and Command V, then it'll paste a little preview. So you'll have this little rectangle that shows you a preview of the website that you want to paste. And once you have it, you can click on the source and then it opens up the new tab. And there we go, we open up YouTube. So what you can also do is you can take an image and then link the image to a different page. So let's say I want to link this expert interview image to YouTube. So I click on it, go on more, and then you can click on link to, and then you paste the link, confirm, and then what it does is it creates a little link here. So if you zoom out on the top right, you'll always have this icon. Now, if you look at this, nothing really will happen, but if you click on the link, it will open up the page again externally. If you want to remove the link, you just click delete. About the UI design, I can't really comment because I'm not a UI designer. I kind of like the yellow, and I kind of like that everything is pretty similar to what it would look like in real life. That's kind of important to me, and if I onboard people who are not really familiar with digital tools, just so they even see the representation in the colors and the pastel colors of the post-its. People with a trackpad, so I guess Mac users, will have a really easy time because it's very easy to use it with a trackpad. And it seems like it uses similar navigation patterns that you would also see in Mac OS. So everybody with a huge trackpad, probably pretty simple to use. If you want to change the navigation system, you can always go here and then in the navigation mode and then do it with a mouse. But I really prefer the trackpad. So as you can see, the feature set is really not that large. There's the most important fundamentals for transferring everything from the office onto the digital canvas, and a couple of more interesting things that I might go in deeper a bit later that you can see here, which is pasting iframe codes or videos, or using sticky capture, user journey mapping presets, mind maps, cards, tables and charts, and so on. So all these things are kind of additional tools, but the most important ones are really easy to reach and find. And that's what I think is pretty cool. So if I would compare Miro and Mural, I would say navigation-wise and UX-wise, Miro is more like Apple, but it doesn't have a lot of features, whereas Mural has a lot of features and are really powerful, and it's a little bit more like Microsoft. So I hope that helped. Have a beautiful day, and I'm gonna see you soon. Bye bye.